life challenges you way too much, you adapt. You change, and you make sure you can always win.
Another home workout for you guys. Today, looking forward to this one, is going to be all about arms. So we do have like a warm-up to just get your body temperature up, get you nice and warm, but then it is going to be a full and long EMOM with just biceps, and then we do a full and long EMOM with just the triceps. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So if you guys want to join us, we start with the warm-up. We're going to have Daphne and Edward showing you two different and very simple and probably familiar movements as well. Starting off with a classic kickback. So you guys can place your hands on the floor, jump into plank, jump back forward, stand up, and that's it. Boom, let's do it again. Now in this warm-up, the idea here is just to jump back and forward, and when you jump forward, you land in the entire foot. You stand up, you extend, and you try to do this unbroken at a nice and easy pace. If I would say it's 50 reps, you shouldn't be bothered by it, right? But it's not 50 reps. So that's all. Now let's have a look at Edward showing you what to do if you live in an apartment, you don't like that jumping part, or you have an injury that's telling you not to jump. In that case, you do the same, you just step everything. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice. Simple kickbacks. Now, our second movement is going to be our mountain climber. So we go to our plank on long arms. I need you guys to start off with the right leg once I tell you to go. And the idea is very simple. I want you guys to start very slow by showing the range of motion. Pull right in, pull left in. And the idea is to pull your knee forward as far as you can, but you need to maintain that line of hips and shoulders. Don't underestimate the importance of that. And now you guys can go at a more, like a more workout kind of pace. Here we go. You see how rhythmic and dynamic the movement suddenly becomes? That is what we need to see. Very good. Now, if you feel the need to scale the mountain climber, you can do that by just going slower. That's all I would recommend you to do. We just showed you two movements, which you probably are familiar with. If not, then it's your first time trying. It's going to be mountain climbers, but first kickbacks. Now the idea is this, you do 10 kickbacks, nice and slow pace, continuous pace, then you do 20 mountain climbers. We're going to do this for 6 minutes. It says Quality AMRAP, that means you keep going, but you don't go too fast. I need you to actually move straight for 6 minutes without ever stopping. And you're going to adjust the pace of the movement to be able to do that. I'm going to have Daphne and Edward start with you guys. I have my timer ready, and guess what? It's already running in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time to kick back. Jump and stand up. I like this pace. So they are very aware of the length of 6 minutes. And probably with these two movements, it's also going to become about 6 rounds in total. Because it's very easy to do a round of this in a minute, and then doing 6 to 7 rounds of this would be a very nice warm-up of the entire body before focusing solely on arms. And I can see in their faces that they're just doing this to get rid of it because they really want to start hitting the biceps and tris today. Here we go. Wow, look at that. That was a 40-second round. Nice. So with that 40-second round, I know they're going to slow down the pace. Probably you will end up doing anywhere from 6 to 8 rounds in this one. You guys keep going, get nice and warmed up, then I'll meet you back in a second to hit the arms. Insert noise. Alright, so slightly different order than you're expecting from us. What we'll do is this. We're going to have 3 different movements, only biceps. And then after that, we'll do 3 different movements, only triceps. Before we go into the movements, I want to tell something about scaling this for injuries. If you cannot do biceps or the movements of triceps, you substitute the entire portion of today's session for something that has to do with abdominal muscles, right? If you cannot do either of them, so both, in that case, you're going to do 24 minutes of just abdominals. Good luck with that, pick. Hey-o. Now, what we will do is show you the 3 ab movements that only are here as a substitution for no biceps and no triceps. Well, let's have a look at Edward showing you injury options. Now, first movement is going to be this. He's going to do a V-up, starting in a hollow, reaching up, coming back into the middle, touching. If this is extremely hard for you to do for approximately 10 to 15 reps, you go for a tuck up. Boom, which is a bit easier. That is the first movement. The second movement is going to be a toe touch. Toes overhead, you're gonna reach up, shoulder blades stay off the floor, you're gonna reach for the toes, you're gonna touch those babies. Boom. If it's very hard to do, you just attempt. Nice, for some reason the beep just goes, but that's all good. Now, the third movement is gonna be a sit-up on straight leg. So let's reach back, touch the floor, come up, move forward. Here we go. Reach back, come up, move forward, which is a classic straight leg sit-up. Now, it works the following way. You substitute either the bicep or the tricep portion of today's session for a EMOM of 12 minutes. In a 12-minute time frame, minute number 1, 10 to 15 reps of the first movement, the V-up. Minute number 2, 10 to 15 reps of the second movement, the toe touch. Minute number 3, 10 to 15 reps of the third movement, the straight leg raise. And minute number 4 is rest. Let's show you the 3 movements of today's bicep workout, okay? Now, the first movement you're gonna need a band for. So you're going to stand on top of the band. You're gonna grab the band as low as you can while being able to do the full movement. So you gotta try and figure that out a bit. Now, we're gonna have the palms facing down in the beginning. And when we start flexing the elbows, so making that curl, we have the palms facing forward in the end position. Boom. So we call this a reverse curl, and make sure you don't hit yourself in the face with the band there. Nice. Might happen again. Here we go. Very good. Reverse curls. So really be anxious that you gotta keep your palms facing down in the beginning and face forward in the top. There's a big tendency to start rotating that. I don't want to see that here. We're using the forearms as well here. Great movement, the reverse curl with the band. You guys can rest. Now we're gonna move on to the back. And the back is gonna be used in the second movement. And that is gonna be a back curl. So you're gonna get the straps of your back. You wanna make them nice and tight. You're gonna grab those. Palms are facing in. From there, arms start in full extension in front of the body. You just curl the back towards your chin, and you come all the way back down. When you curl, I always need to think of making a big circle instead of pulling it as close to the body as possible. So the further it goes away from the body, elbow stays in the spot, biceps hit properly. Back curls, very nice. The third movement is going to involve the bottles. Now for the bottles, I want you to do this. The setup is a bit weird, but once you get it going, it's a nice finisher of the bicep round. You're going to go in a wide stance. You're going to have your elbows placed to the inside of your knees. You're going to have your arms extending there. You're going to curl them together towards the middle. Boom. Preacher curls while the elbows are pressing inwards. So they're both using a slightly different variation, which is all good. What I just need to see is the arm being extended in the bottom and being curled inwards in the end position. Very nice preacher curls in a sumo stance. The format, we just showed you 3 movements. We're gonna start now, but the idea is to do this. You're gonna set your timer at 12 rounds of 1 minute. In minute number 1, you do the first curling movement with the band for 10 to 15 reps. The second minute, you do the movement with the bag for 10 to 15 reps. In the third minute, you do the movement with the bottles for 10 to 15 reps. The fourth minute is going to be resting. 3 rounds of that in total. Why 10 to 15 reps? You try to start off with 15 in round number 1. I'm going to allow you to drop the repetitions down to 10 all the way up to the third round. But try to stick to 15 if you can. Okay? If you guys are ready, I'm ready. I want to see those biceps grow. 10 seconds. So looking forward to arms class once we get open again, finally. 3, 2, 1, go. Now this is a classic pump fit type of workout, which is a new format we're testing out, right? Pump fit. It's the pure arm class. The idea is to do so much arms that we can increase the amount of growth hormone produced by the body. So we actually have that 1 centimeter guaranteed growth per month. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Nice. We actually took a very nice video for that. If you guys go back to April the 1st, so April video, we actually introduced that class to the entire world, basically. Lots of positive responses on that. So 15 reps to the reverse curl, getting that slow pump starting already. And then you have some rest. In the rest, you wait. What do you do when you wait? You start finding your back. If it all feels light, grab the band lower. Fill that back with whatever you have and start hammering those biceps with movement number 2, the back curl. Starting in 7 seconds from now. Again, if you have dumbbells at home, you can substitute any of the movements for a dumbbell movement. Here we go. The thing you want to aim for when you would substitute something with a dumbbell, for example, is how the palms are positioned. So first movement was palms facing down. Second movement, palm facing inwards. Third movement is going to be palm facing upwards. It hits different parts of the bicep, and it also allows for more involvement of the forearms. And you know that Popeye actually doesn't have big biceps, but he has enormous forearms. So you want to look like Popeye, you got to get your reverse curls in, babies. Yep. Yeah. Ed's thinking about Popeye. I can see that. Yeah. Right? We got 20 seconds, and then we go into that sumo stance. We're going to have the elbows positioned to the inside of the knee. We start in extended arms, and we're going to focus on flexing the bicep by getting the arms to come inwards. Starting in 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Start curling those babies. Here we go. And really hit that M position and hold it for a second. So squeeze, hold, come back down. Squeeze, hold, come back down. Here we go. That is nice. Now this is the one I do recommend to load up if you have something at home that you can load up. Also because we have a minute of rest right after. Now guys, intensity in this workout is not created by tempo or by how high your heart rate is. It is created by how hard can I squeeze the muscle necessary to make the movement. In this case, the biceps. Here you go. They're finishing up their first round. I can see those veins popping there. That's great. Now that was round number 1. You got 2 more rounds to go. Embrace the pump and keep squeezing. Alright, so Edward and Daphne are feeling swole as F at the moment, right? They really are. Their biceps are just blown up enormously. I think they have half of a centimeter of growth already in the 12-minute time frame. Guaranteed. Now, the other half of a centimeter is going to come from the next portion, which is all triceps. So let's hit those babies properly with 3 different movements, and let's have a look at it. Daphne, Edward, I want you to go to the floor. We're going to start in a push-up stance where we're going to get our hands to be narrow. We're going to have our thumbs and index fingers as close to each other as possible. Now from here, it is going to be a slight lean forward with the elbows close to the body, and we're going to extend from there. Boom, diamond push-ups, baby. Let's get 2 more reps in. Same push-up as normal, but we just keep the arms nice and close. You guys can rest. Daphne, you can sit on your knees. We're going to look at Edward here. Edward's going to scale the movement. You can go sit on the knees or grab the chair that he's going to need anyways for the second movement. He's going to place the hands in position. He's going to keep the elbows nice and close. He's going to lower the body towards the chair and press up. You really want to emphasize keeping the elbows as close as possible because we try to get as much tricep work in as we possibly can. Instead of going wider with your hands, that allows you to use more chest and shoulders, and we want to try to avoid that because we're using arms here, right? Good. Second movement is what? It's going to be a dip. And for the dip, we're going to need the chair. So I need you guys to place the chair or the object and still be able to face me. Now what we're going to do here in a position is we're going to make sure that we have our hands positioned approximately at shoulder height or shoulder width if the object allows it to. Yeah, it's safe enough. Otherwise you can use the bottom of the chair as well. Now, Daphne is going to have extended legs here, and Ed's going to have bent legs. Now, what we do here, we sit our butt close to the object towards the floor by bending the elbows, and then we're going to extend through the elbows. Beautiful dips. You guys get a couple of reps in here. Now, I need you to keep the elbows pointing backwards and not flaring them out. It's safer for the shoulder, and it keeps the shoulder in the same position throughout the movement. The way Ed is doing it is he's going to have more assistance of the legs, which is a tiny bit easier. All right, let's take a break here. That is good. Now to finish off, we have a third movement with the elastic band. And we're going to start with the elastic band positioned as a beautiful yellow necklace. So we place it around our head. We're going to grab the band, and our starting position is going to be a 90-degree angle of the arm. And when we have that position, you already should be able to play guitar on the strings, as in there should be tension on the band. Beautiful. The pinkies are pointing downwards toward the floor. And to initiate the movement, you're going to make a big circle and then end up with the pinkies pointing backwards. Come back down and you start doing reps like this. Now the idea is this. We're using a band. That means A, constant tension throughout. It also means B, you're controlling the way back up here. You're not just shooting your arms back up because the band is pulling you. No. You're going to fight the resistance. That is exactly what we need to do. Very good band push downs. Alright, so 3 movements. Same concept as that we had with the biceps, but I will repeat how it works. We're going to do first the diamond push-ups, 10 to 15 reps, minute number 1. Minute number 2, we're going to hit the dips, 10 to 15 reps. Minute number 3, 10 to 15 band push downs. 4th minute, rest, 3 rounds, in total. The idea, try to hit 15 on each round, but if you need to, let it come back down to 10. Really try to get a good burn in there. I'm never going to tell you you're wrong if you did 20 band pushdowns. I'm never going to tell you you're wrong. Okay. Let's get started, guys, on the band diamond push-ups in 10 seconds. You can also use the band for extra tension if you want to wrap it around your body. We're not going to do that. All right, here we go. So we're going to start out with the diamond push-up here. Elbows staying as close to the body as we possibly can. And yes, we need those elbows close. There's a tendency that they flare out, right? Because that is easier. The chest is involved a tiny bit more. No. We're not going to allow that to happen. Taking a quick break is all good. Why? Because you have a full minute. Yeah, we're just 20 seconds in. We got a full minute. Daphne's going to get through all the reps because she's just taking her time. She knows she wants to hit the triceps today. That's why she's here. And she's like, hey, I just add half of a centimeter to my arm. I need the other half of a centimeter to be added to my arm as well. So I cannot neglect the tricep work. Here we go. Finishing off that round nice and strong. And that is rep number 15. Good job, Daphne. Let's go to our chair or other object that we have and let's set it up to start on our dips. I like how Ed is like sitting in between movements. That is great. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hit the triceps with the dipping movement. So you want to make sure your butt stays as close to the chair as possible on the way down and also on the way up. But if you move it away from the chair on the way down too much, you're going to hurt your shoulder because it gets in a very nasty stretched position, which we don't want to do here during the dips. We just want to load up those triceps properly. 15 reps, all we need. 15 reps, guaranteed growth, ladies and gentlemen, guaranteed growth. And I know you guys at home are always waiting for guaranteed growth, so that's why I say that so many times. So they're resting for approximately 20 seconds, and then we hit our last movements, which will be the band pushdown. And what I didn't know yet is right after the band pushdowns, we'll start doing some posing as well. You do that. Get some arm posing in, right? Got to squeeze those babies together. Got them to work. 10 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So band pushdowns, pinky pointing to the floor in the start. A big quarter circle with the pinky pointing backwards in the end position, keeping the elbow in the same spot throughout, keeping tension on the band. Think about that guitar, guys. There's always tension on the band. Guitar makes the noise of gains. Yeah. Here we go. Grow, babies, grow. You can always talk to your arms as well while you're doing this. Tell them to grow. Please grow for me. Please grow. 30 seconds left. We're done.